Welcome to the Whiskey Chasers, where we talk about our passion for whiskey and its history, either amongst ourselves or while interviewing distilleries, all while enjoying a glass. I'm Steve.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Chris.
Please enjoy responsibly while enjoying this week's episode of the Whiskey Chasers.
Okay, so we're moving on to another bottle.
Moving on. Another bottle. We'll have to cut all that out.
Wait, were we recording the whole time?
Yeah, we were recording the whole time. Yeah.
New bottle.
We find it's great to start. So, hello, welcome everyone to a new episode. We've got Bob and we've got Herm back, and Chris is already getting into his tin. We've been
waiting too long. I'm ready to smoke.
We've got a bottle that I can barely find any information on this guy. Doc Whiskey. Not Doc Holliday, not Doc Swinson's. This is Doc Whiskey.
All right.
So buckle in here. This took me probably 2 hours last night to try to figure out where this guy came from. On the back of it, it says bottled by a winery. I forget the winery name.
Copper Mountain. Or no, sorry.
Nope.
Best Vineyards.
Best Vineyards in Indiana. Somewhere in Indiana. Elizabethtown or Elizabeth something, Indiana. But then it's put out by
Elizabeth, like the movie Elizabethtown.
It's put out by Copper Mountain, so it is sold by Copper Mountain, bottled by
Best Vineyards.
Yeah, bottled by Best Vineyards, and they proudly boast that this is Lawrenceburg MGP product.
You lost me like 2 brands ago. I don't understand what's going on. Some sort of money-making scheme.
It kind of feels like the old school whiskeys that it was like, oh, well, this person was back in the way back at pre-prohibition, and was like, oh, this person was an apothecary, and then this other person was a third party distributor, and then they just started their own whiskey brand. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. I mean, in the kind of the marketing on the bottle, it's like very aged, very kind of antique-y style.
It is very pharmaceutical kind of a bottle. Square. Doc whiskey, like for your ailments.
We talked about
kind of looks like a tax stamp.
White labeling. So white labeling of getting MGP product or another product from someone, and then just simply bottling it, putting a label on it that says it's mine, but it's not really mine. This company, when I say this company, Copper Mountain Beverage Company is who owns this. All of their product, their liquor, is all white labeled, proudly stating that it's MGP product. Down to their limoncello is MGP.
So are they white labeling then?
Yes.
So they're not doing anything to it. They're just buying and bottling. Okay. If anybody's wondering, if you haven't listened to the last couple of podcasts, white labeling is when a company sources a whiskey and doesn't do anything to it other than put it in a bottle and slap their label on it. That's it. So they didn't age it. There are some themselves. They didn't finish it. They didn't mix it. They didn't blend it. They did nothing.
They did nothing with it.
They literally just bought it and rebranded it and sold it.
We're going to make this even more interesting. All of this stuff for Doc Whiskey, everything they put in these bottles is uncut, unfiltered, single barrel.
That sounds awesome. But my question to you is, why are we doing this?
Dude, this is fantastic. So it gets even crazier. So Copper Mountain Beverage Company is out of Indiana, but they have another bottle called Copper Still that's the same way. It is a white labeling. But if you go to Copper Still's website, they're out of New Zealand. And the two whiskeys on their website is this and the Copper Still whiskey. And they sell like crazy in New Zealand, but proudly boast it's Indiana bourbon.
I mean, it is Indiana bourbon.
But what is happening?
MGP,
Doesn't get much more Indiana than that.
No, this is the weirdest thing. And not to mention, MGP has like 5 mash bills that they stick.
This stuff is dry, isn't it, Herm?
Yeah. So not to interrupt. Yeah, I was thinking this, and when you said it, so this is we're smoking.
It's a crumble cake, but
yeah, it's a crumble cake of Hearth and Home, and it's called 10 to Midnight, and it's an English blend. It's a little heavier, Oriental English blend, I believe.
Yeah, Balkan.
Definitely, yeah, and so it's got a lot more richness to it than the other one that we had smoked from Hearth and Home. But yeah, very, very dry. I've never had like a crumble cake that actually crumbled. It's very, very dry, and like it just kind of it very much just kind of crumbled up.
Almost crunchy. Yeah, it's like a granola, which I've had this before when it was like fresh and it was moist, like a cake should be. But this is dry. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, with it being English though, I feel like it'll smoke better.
I bet it'll be better. It'll be
because
good.
of the oils and stuff with the Latakia.
This is basically the match blend for Penzance.
This will be interesting to see what you guys think with this whiskey. It might make it better.
Well, that didn't sound good.
No,
I haven't had a
sorry.
sip yet. That sounded
I don't
like
mean that in a bad way. Sorry.
Hopefully, it makes it better.
Here's what's super interesting about that. One of the reasons why I found this, it was at Tipsy's, one of the top shelf bottles. I've never seen it before. I said, "Hey, buddy, what is this?" And he literally looks at me and goes, "I don't know. This came with this store that I bought. It's the only bottle that we have. I've never seen it before. I don't buy it in. I don't know what it is. It's never sold." And so I was like, let's take a risk. Let's see. And I think it was like maybe $30-$40, if that. It's a 3-year-old single barrel, uncut, unfiltered, out of MGP. If you know anything about MGP and heard us talk about it, MGP is proud on the 95.5 mash bill for rye.
That's their thing. Yeah.
That's one of their mash bills.
Can't go wrong with 95.5.
Yeah. They also do a high rye mash bill of 60 corn, 36 rye, 4 barley. So they're proud for those two, like known for those two things. Bullet's going to be your high rye bourbon. So they do high rye, and their rye is 95.5. Well, then they jump into like low rye bourbon, not very heard of. But then they also started doing this light whiskey, which is 99 corn, 1 barley. The one thing that I think I've always argued that I don't see come out of MGP is a wheated bourbon.
We have talked about that. They don't do much as far as even high wheated.
So this is a wheated. This is 51 corn, 45% wheat, and 4% barley.
So still a bourbon, but
Still
it's
a bourbon. Heavy
Okay.
wheat. This is 45% wheat.
It's very MGP, isn't it, on the nose?
We're getting very close to being like a wheat whiskey at that point.
It's almost like I don't want to say sour, but it does have like a sourness to the nose. Like a little tang.
You like that?
I do.
Okay.
I'm really surprised by that.
In what way? I don't know if that's a good surprise, bad surprise, or I'm not sure surprise.
Let me have a few more sips.
Okay.
I'm really kind of just threw, like it was like a OODA loop. Like I really just kind of threw a curveball at me. I was expecting like a strike down the middle.
So what's interesting about this the more I started researching, again, it took me forever to figure out and find this, because everything you see Doc whiskey is either Doc Holiday, which is really big, but that's also MGP. That one's coming. Doc Holiday is coming out of World Whiskey Society that sources everything. The other Doc is Doc Swinson, which is also sourcing out of MGP, but they try to do finishings, different things. No one knows what Doc whiskey is, to the point where I found...
Just made up the name or something? Or?
So I found the Copper Mountain Beverage Company. It was one of the first ones I found, and it looked like it was just an all-nine retailer. It took me forever to realize this was their product.
Is it one of those companies that bought like some barrels and then put their name on it and
So
they'll disappear as
this
soon
is
as
where
their
things
stuff's
are
sold
super
out?
interesting. Is they continue to do this, but again, this is big in New Zealand. This is not big in like America. New Zealand goes crazy for this, claiming it is Indiana, proud Indiana bourbon. Is what they see it
Is
as.
New Zealand pretty similar to like Australia?
Yeah,
They drink beer over there, don't they?
right. So this beverage company got started out with malt liquor.
That makes that checks out.
That was their very first
They're
thing
also
that they
big
got.
fans of
The,
Kid
the
Cobra.
Aussies.
Yes. In fact, their malt liquor was something odd.
Foster's, Australian for beer.
4-0, not 4 Loco. I'm pretty sure it's 4-0.
I bet they took Four Loco, the original recipe, and threw the name 4-0 on it and sold
Sign
it over
me up.
there.
Yeah.
And those guys
Sounds
are
like a
so
good
good.
time.
They're so good natured
Yeah.
over there that they're
Take
not
me
going
back
to
to
cause
college.
they're not going to cause a ruckus. I've heard people in Australia are like super chill,
But again, this is an American company.
but selling overseas mostly.
Their biggest following is over there.
Just like an international distribution company.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh, we'll buy some MGP. We'll put our name on it. That's very much what it feels like.
is.
That
Yeah.
third party distributor. Oh, well, we're already like, we work with MGP on
Yeah.
other things. Why not just buy some whiskey and put our label on it and ship it overseas?
The thing they got started with was 4-0 street legal malt liquor.
Second sip's different than the first sip.
Copper Still and the Mallet. Those
The mallet.
those are the other two that they do.
I want to try the mallet.
It's 180 proof. No.
But everything, so you see this labeling, it looks very much like old pharmaceutical.
Straight hammer shot to your.
It's actually
stones.
Everclear. They just put the mallet on the label.
Everything they do is this kind of style. They go after the advertising.
I can't pinpoint that taste.
It's different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not something I expected out of MGP. That's why I'm kind of like thrown off. But it smells like MGP, but it doesn't taste like I expect a highly weeded bourbon to taste. That's what I can't get. It's throwing me for a loop because it's very. And if you sit there and really think about it, you can pull out a lot of flavor. But also, if you were to just throw it back, you could miss it.
Yeah.
Oh, this would be easy to throw back and miss.
You'd miss it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, okay, I'm just drinking something, But if you really sit there and contemplate and take your time and let it kind of linger over all the taste buds and everything else, then kind of experience the swallowing and everything else. And not much aftertaste, but there is some. But it is very kind of not what I would expect a weeded bourbon to be. There's something different going on there.
Herm, were you on for the French Lick, the William Dalton?
I was not, but I've had it.
You've had it. You've also had the Neely one. The
Neely brothers, yeah.
So you had the Neely.
Yes.
And that was a weeded single barrel. Older than this guy, but that did not drink like a weed. I think we all said that those don't drink like a weeded bourbon. There's more of a punch to it. This is about the same mash bill as those.
It's got a punch in the back of the throat.
Yeah.
I would not ever expect a weeded to do that.
Do you think it drinks like a weeded?
It's not a hard punch, but there's something that's going on when you swallow that has more. It's more of an aggressive flavor than I would expect a highly weeded bourbon to do.
Okay.
Especially something out of MGP.
So that's the catch for me is out of MGP. Like this is weird.
Right. That's what's really throwing me off. It's good. I like it. Did we talk about the price yet?
I think I paid maybe 30.
It's been a long time since I've gotten something from MGP that I was like, I like this. Not that I don't like MGP. It's just
it's not. It's whatever. You know what to expect with it, and this is different from the expected. Do you think it's different from the expected because it's 118 proof? I think it's actually closer to. I think it's 117 proof, 116.88.
Nice.
So I mean, I've always
definitely
said,
a lot
Nick
higher
will tell you
proof.
this. I've always said the higher proofs coming out of MGP are better than their lower.
Yeah,
proof
I
stuff.
would agree.
So maybe, but it's just not weeded. Like I just don't get those flavors that you typically get with the creaminess,
like buttery,
and the buttery kind of and then you get all of those bourbon flavors.
So for me, I think I'm gonna be the outlier and say I'm not a huge fan.
Well, I'm not saying I like it. Yeah, I'm just saying it's different.
I think for me, there's some kind of bitterness to it.
So you're saying you don't like it, or
I don't think I do. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not saying I hate it. It's terrible. It just doesn't do a lot for me. Like after the last, episode, it's just so much like there's just not a lot to it. It definitely has a little punch to it with the proof, I think, but there's some kind of bitterness to it for me, and it's not like a bad like sour kind of really like off-putting bitter. It's like almost like salty bitter. Yeah. I guess is kind of the.
I get what you're saying.
It's hard to pinpoint, and like he was saying, like Bob was saying, is like I can't put my finger on the flavor of what it is, but that's really all I kind of get, and then it's kind of gone, and it's like really quick. It's boom, boom, gone.
There's not much of a finish,
and there's just not a lot of finish. There's not a lot of body to it. So for me, I think it. I mean, all things considered, the marketing and like, oh, it's a cool label. I would look at the bottle and maybe consider it, but after having it, I wouldn't probably buy this bottle personally.
I haven't decided if I like it yet or not. I'm going to wait a little bit, but it is. I get what you're saying. And it is kind of that saltiness is kind of strange, but I don't know if I think I like it because it is different that aspect of it. But it is kind of salty, almost like a candy,
like a salted caramel.
Like a candy is
like
salted.
It does have a little bit of sweetness to it too, but there's I feel like it's like a salted caramel that somebody put a little too much salt in for me.
Yeah.
I know what it reminds me of now. It's a toffee. Like a salted toffee.
Like a saltwater toffee? Or
but it's like one of those ones that like your grandma would have made back in the day.
Okay.
Like the handmade toffee.
But like more of a semi-sweet, and then there's salt on
with
it.
a little bit of salt in it. Because it's taking me back to like farm times when my grandma would make that. Now, I knew it was somewhere.
I get what you're saying.
And that's what it is.
And it's got, then after you get those flavors, for me, what I get is the kind of the bite or the strength from the proof, which I appreciate. And then it kind of, what little bit of aftertaste is there, it's almost like a wood smoke, kind of an aftertaste. You get that, it's drying. It's a drying kind of.
Like oak? Kind of
like oak smoke, yeah. Like the smoke from it. Like if you've ever burned up a pile of
like you're sitting in the like the smoke is coming into your face kind of thing. Yeah. Okay.
like when
okay.
you're out and you're like you've chopped down some wood and stuff. It's not just the leaves and stuff because it's not leaves, but it's like actual like kind of wet wood that's being burned in the yard.
Yeah.
That kind of
heavy smoke.
A little bit of that smoke, but then it fades. There's really not a whole. It's not a lasting finish. It's kind of like very quickly gone.
For me, I think, which sounds crazy coming out of my mouth, but I feel like this would benefit from being at a lower proof. Like being proof down, I think would benefit this because I think the flavors are so subtle. Yeah. And you can tell they're there, but they so quickly get overpowered by the proof. Like, and I love the proof and I like higher proof pretty much everything. But for me, I think if this was lowered down to like maybe even like a 101, just a tiny bit, I would be interested to see how much the flavor profile would change. I think you would get a lot more of that like creamy sweet toffee versus the kind of like that hot burn and like it goes away really quick.
I think that salty aspect might kind of amplify too. We got to throw some water in it, a couple of drops of water in it, and see.
So it'd be like a toffee that grandma burnt. Would you say?
I don't think it's a burnt. So when I say like wood smoke, I don't mean like the burnt aspects of it, like not like a scotch or anything like that. It's more like that dry, like the dry smoke that kind of blows. You're not sitting in front of it. All of a sudden you get a whiff of it as it blows in the wind a little bit and hits you in the face. If you've ever been out like cutting wood down, like I used to do that for like a summer job. We literally just cut down trees and then we chopped them up and then we would burn the parts we didn't want. And it wasn't like the branches and stuff. It was like the actual wood. And I would get hit with the like little hits of that like wood smoke. That's what I equated to, like wood smoke. But it was a live tree, so it's like a little bit greener.
So it's almost like live wood, like fresh wood.
Yeah. So it's not like wet wood, but it's like not dry. You know what I mean? But that little hits of those, like it's wood smoke. That's the only thing I can think of to describe it. And it's right at the end, and it's very barely there, and then it's gone. Like it really kind of like fades out to nothing, and you kind of forgot that you were drinking anything at all, and then drink again, But that saltiness is what is the most interesting thing coming out of the MGP, especially like, and it can't be the wheat that's doing that, right?
No, I mean,
like what's doing that?
So here's what I'm trying to figure out: the winery that bottles this for them. So this beverage company they don't touch anything but the final product. So they have a winery
bottle it or nothing.
The winery bottles it for them. So does the winery also age it there? Because the winery doesn't even list this as a product that they do or touch or anything on their website. Nothing on the back of the bottle. It is the smallest of print, and like to the point where like you really have to look at it to be like, what is that saying on there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fairly prevalent that it's there, but yeah, it is. I mean, the print is very fine and it's on like that aged kind of parchment type of colored paper. So
yeah, I like
it is there. It's not like hidden by any means, but it's a little bit harder to read. For sure.
They did a good job making that look like a bottle you just pulled out from like in between the drywall and the studs.
Yeah,
from like the 1919s. Like, yeah. Like that's what it looks like. It looks like an old pre-prohibition bottle.
I don't think this is an American bottle. And here's what I mean by that. The only place I can find in America that sells it is Total Wine, which Total Wine is just...
Is that where you bought it?
No, this is at Tipsy's.
Okay, so
but Tipsy inherited it.
He has no idea where it came from. He inherited this bottle. It was in the back somewhere. And
it wasn't like a SKU that he had. Okay. No. Oh wow. Yep. Yeah, that's interesting.
So he inherited this when he bought the store. It was the only bottle there.
Well, that's special.
Total Wine sells it for about $52. Outside of Total Wine, I can't find it anywhere else. Even if you go on to Copper Mountain, their beverage company, when you try to find where to buy it, it takes you to the New Zealand page.
So when was this bottled?
They're still producing it. Like this is still a thing.
But this bottle's older.
Yes. So this one's older. So this one probably would have been let's see, Tipsy. So Tipsy bought the store in 2019 maybe. So this would have been probably, if it's the only bottle and from that store, this could have been from I'd say probably about 2010.
So that's what I'm saying. It's been sitting in glass for a minute.
Yeah, it's been sitting in there for a hot minute.
Did you try some water in it?
I did. I put some water. I was just telling Bob this. I said, try to put some water in it and see how much. It drastically changed the taste profile.
You think better or worse or different?
Different. Definitely, there's more there now. Like you can get a lot more of the flavor out of it now. There's not nearly as much burn. I think it amplifies that middle part of the palate, but it also amplifies that saltiness, like you thought it would. For me,
everything's a little bit more prevalent.
So it's like that's not something I would be drawn to, but it definitely does change it. And in a way, I think is beneficial to if you like the flavor, add some water, and it's going to amplify the flavor versus the proofy burn kind of that Kentucky hug, if you will, or Indiana
sweater
embrace.
Okay, embrace.
The Indiana embrace. Yeah.
So would you say, if you're adding water, just go ahead and drink it on the rocks instead of with a cube instead of
I mean, cooling it may be different too, like because just adding a little bit of water is going to kind of calm that proof down a little bit.
Temperature
adding
changes everything.
Well, I think for me, I don't like ice in my whiskey, which is funny because I used to that. That was the only way I drank it for the longest time, and now I'm just like it's neat or nothing kind of thing for me.
I'm with you on that.
If you were to add a drop or two of water, that's one thing. But changing the whole temperature does drastically changes the chemical molecules. Yeah,
I just feel like it mutes everything down. I don't know if it goes that far, but for me, it definitely mutes the flavor. Whereas water, I think it can. If something feels like it's overpowered by the proof, you can kind of add some water, and that will kind of bring a little more of the flavor out. Really, the only time I would use, I use, if you're going to use a cube for me, is in a cocktail. Like that's not to be a whiskey purist.
Because some people order water and whiskey.
Yeah. Or with it. Yeah.
The best way that I've ever introduced water into whiskey for myself personally is what I do is I take my glass and I rinse it out and dump it. And then I put whiskey in it. And that's it. And usually what you have is 2 or 3 drops that kind of remain. And that for me is like usually the best.
I know like a big thing in cocktails is they'll add like a little bit of saline, a couple of drops of saline mixture.
Saline, yeah, I don't know. I've heard saline gives you the makes you poop.
Well, how much saline are you drinking?
Water. Yeah, I'm not trying to drink straight salt water. Yeah, that's going to definitely make you poop. But that's essentially saline, salt and water.
Well, if you like saline and bourbon and you have 8 or 9 bourbons, you might be on the toilet.
Well, we're talking about like maybe 2 drops.
Yeah.
2 drops out of an eyedropper.
Hey, look, it's on general principle.
Tends to have a lot of impact on the flavor, but I have not quite jumped down that road because I just like the taste of my whiskey. Like
I don't even like it when it's cold. I just don't.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, I don't like it cold at all.
I like it cold, but
it bruises the spirit.
I will chill in old fashioned. I will freezer door and old fashioned.
Cocktails are different.
Pre-made,
Cocktails are different.
and then pour that over like a single cube. But even then, I almost always will I'll chill the old fashioned, make the whole liquid cold, and then pour it straight into a glass.
Well, look,
and it's almost always higher proof.
If I want a cocktail, you know what I reach for? A tiki
Rittenhouse.
drink. I like tiki drinks, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like if I want a cocktail, I'm not even gonna go bourbon. Like it's gonna be some sort of rum based tiki drink where I'm gonna be like 3 of these and I'm on the floor. Those things are way more powerful than and they taste
I'm
delicious.
Lazy, so I'm not making those. If I'm at a bar or out, like I'm on vacation, sure, why not?
If it's a hot summer day, I don't want a cold beer or a cold cocktail or ice in my whiskey. I want like chilled whiskey. Like I want it so it's cold, but not like
put the bottle on ice kind of thing.
I think chilled whiskey's gross.
It does change. I feel like it's a mental thing, but it does change it entirely.
I think it mutes the flavor.
For me, I don't drink a lot of whiskey when it's hot. Now I will drink whiskey in the evening, like we're on vacation and it's like 100 degrees in Florida. I'm not doing a lot of whiskey drinking during the day. I'm drinking some tequila.
Did you ever have grandparents that would drink hot coffee when it was like 92 degrees?
Yeah,
mine too. And honestly, I'm fine with doing it too. I do it. I do it myself.
Coffee, strictly hot coffee. Like I don't like it cold.
I don't care if it's 105 degrees. If I want a coffee, I want hot coffee. Yeah.
I judge people that drink iced coffee. I'm so sorry. Yeah. But I'm a hot coffee guy. Yeah.
Coffee should be black.
Yes. I do have some with me.
There we go. Yeah.
But I mean, like when I'm on vacation or something, it's like hot in the summertime and we're in the sun. I'm not drinking whiskey most often. I'm going to be drinking like tequila or vodka, mostly tequila probably. But then in the evening when it starts to cool off a little bit, it's a little more more moderate, or I'm sitting in the AC and I'm ready to kind of wind down, I'm definitely going to reach for whiskey.
What's so interesting is, so Mary and I are going to Florida in June, and we're going to be sitting on the beach. And I already know, last time I went to Florida with Chris and Laura, we bought those flask caps.
Yeah.
And it
We got good use out of those.
and it holds, so inside it holds 6
mine.
ounces.
I don't know what happened to
And
mine.
then the rest can be water and ice. Best way to sit on the beach and drink, because you can hydrate and drink the liquor at the same time.
So you just drink. I thought the flask cap, you like pushed it and it released it into your drink.
So they have that, but they
no,
also
the
have
one
the
we
new
had,
ones.
you push it and it goes straight
So it holds a
from
flask
reservoir to mouth.
Yep. It holds a 6-ounce flask inside of it.
That's
you can,
the one we
you can
had.
push in to decide, do I want liquor or do I want
You
water?
can decide whether, and if you kind of half pull it, then you can get both.
Yes.
See, now if I was doing something like that, I would probably make it like a pre-made cocktail for that.
I will say that
I don't know if I would want my straight
very
whiskey.
quickly we went from doing the flask cap to just ice in like 3/4 tequila and like a
and then a reservoir of extra stuff.
a quarter of like ranch water, and that was it.
Yes. So I definitely experienced a good time during this, but
Sounds like it.
that's my way of
They were big thermoses.
There's big, yeah. But that's ever since then, that's my go-to for beaches. That's my go-to for boating. Like I want
Usually it's
something
gin
chilled.
or vodka or
But even if
tequila.
I'm looking for whiskey, it's something like, even if I change it with the temperature, it's still going to be okay. But it's not like it's this. It's kind of this stock whiskey I'm going to throw in there. Like temperature may change it, but I don't know that I'm going to be that upset.
Like, do you really care?
Yeah, I'm not
I
going to
think this
throw
would
like an
actually
old
go
Fitz.
good with that, because I will say when you're in the ocean, you're kind of getting salt water and you're drinking that at the same time. It definitely does affect
It
like the
does.
whole sensory, you taste experience, everything. Whether you actually have salt in your mouth or not, it tastes salt. Everything tastes salty
The
down
air
there when you're on the
salty,
So this might be a good beach
It would be a good thing for that. Saltwater taffy is actually a good thing down there too. If you've ever actually eaten that on the beach, it's actually pretty delicious.
I tend to dunk mine in the.
Yeah, I just
And the ocean water?
gargle. I gargle the ocean water and then I eat
Y'all are
the saltwater
nasty.
That's
taffy.
the way to go. Yeah.
Do you guys like candy corn
Then
too?
I just butt chug the.
What's wrong with candy corn?
Dude, you're a monster. Candy corn and
I love
saltwater
candy
taffy
corn.
are for serial killers.
Dude, I love. Do you like candy corn, Bob?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
Love candy corn.
I'm a big
Like I
candy corn
said.
guy. If you've ever had candy corn and peanuts,
No,
That's
it
like
tastes
everyone's
like a
go-to.
payday bar. It's amazing.
that
You
sounds
try it.
amazing. Okay.
Handful of peanuts, handful of candy corn. Eat them, and you're going to be like, "Oh, this is freaking good."
So Nick, do you also like candle wax, or
I don't like it. So I'm not
just
a.
usually eat your candles instead of burning them? Or
I mean, I chew.
I'll
on
be
mine.
honest. About the only time growing up that we had candy corn was around Thanksgiving, and it was only because we did those like
Those
turkeys.
turkeys, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the only reason why we had
Yeah.
it. And like,
candy corn is for art projects.
I
not
love
for
it
candy
really
corn.
is.
And you can get them with the white tips or the brown tips. And
The
then I
brown
used
tips.
sometimes I would eat like just the different like layers, and then sometimes you eat the whole thing. You know what I mean?
What are you getting? That's the brown tip.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
It's got a little
What?
chocolate to it. Yeah, it's like a chocolate base.
I've only
type
seen
of-
the white.
And sometimes they have green.
Yeah,
I'm
On the
sorry,
pumpkin
what?
ones,
They- well,
but
they just
I
dye
don't
in
like the
different
pumpkin
colors, I
ones
think.
as much. I want the tri-layer candy corn. Yeah,
my mom.
You guys
loved
went too
candy
deep.
corn.
Dude, I
and
love
saltwater
candy corn.
taffy.
Actually, I want to eat that right now.
That's
Like
what
we
Chris-
just
Chris
give her
is
such a
saltwater
hard time
taffy.
about it, and my daughter loves saltwater taffy. Like we go to Florida, dude. That's her one thing. She's like, I don't care what else we do.
saltwater taffy.
I want to go to that store that I went to last year,
Oh,
and
watermelon.
I want
yeah.
a big old bag of saltwater
Who
taffy.
doesn't
And
like
she'll eat
that?
the whole bag while we're there. Like a
Dude, that's me.
3-pound bag.
Dude,
will be gone
I
before we leave
cannot
vacation.
stop when I start. So I will
Yeah.
eat like 30 in a day.
Yeah, we'll find saltwater taffy wrappers everywhere within the condo. Like
I used to have a ton down here, but I eat them all. Usually
I
when we go on
can't.
vacation, I get
Oof.
a bunch. You should bring those back from Florida since we're not going this year. You give me a big bag.
because we're not
Have
going
you
this
guys
year.
ever been drinking your bourbon? And you're like, I wonder what my bourbon's going to taste like if I eat something like a saltwater taffy or something. And then,
probably has.
okay, because I do that. I'll eat candy and then take a sip of bourbon afterwards just to see if it
See
changed.
what it's like. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we've done that with other things, but I don't think we've ever really talked a whole lot other than like the Princeton or pairing and stuff. We haven't really talked a whole lot about like what it looks like to like what would it be like to eat this with this and drink
So
this.
what's
That's
fascinating to
different.
me?
That's a different
So-
concept. Yeah, I like that.
You and Steve are totally against having a glass of whiskey at like a restaurant with your food.
Yeah, yeah. If it takes away from
I am all for
adds to.
having glasses of whiskey
Yeah.
with my food.
I'm a
here's the
purist,
thing.
except for Prince.
Here's the thing: if I'm
That's
going out
different.
to
That's
eat,
different.
I don't really care about the food. I'm going normally for the bar. I'm going for whatever they have like in bottles that maybe I don't.
Well, that's your
have.
problem right there. Me and Steve are eaters.
So is Mary. Mary goes for
I'm a
goes
fat
for the
guy.
food.
I'm after the food. I'm not after the
Oh,
whiskey.
I'll eat and eat and eat. I
I'm
just
a-
don't know
I'm a
that
fat
if you
guy.
have a good cocktail, I might try a cocktail with dinner, or like that's usually what I'll order it right away. I'll drink it before dinner, and I'll have water with dinner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
But if
I
you're
don't.
ordering
I'm not
like
I can't. I'm not going to drink whiskey with dinner.
Yeah, nobody's gonna drink
99% of the time. Like Prince is just
an
different.
old rip tin while they're eating food. Like you know what I mean? Like, or unless you want to take a break. I mean, we've done it. We finished a bottle at one time, but I will take a break from what I'm eating and swallow, and then I'll take a sip and enjoy that, and then swallow, and then I'm not going to do both in conjunction. But Prince does kind of pair in a way that you want to do in conjunction. Yes. But not everywhere you can. And I can't always do that myself with food. I mean, hell, I like White Castle, but I'm not going to eat that and drink.
Yeah, here's what I'm saying.
You're not going to drink Pappy with White Castle?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I might.
Maybe.
Here's the thing. Prince
give the opportunity.
Prince and I were talking the other day. I don't know of any other establishment, restaurant, bar, whatever it is, that does what Prince does.
Like a pairing.
Yeah.
They do it with wine, but they don't do it with whiskey.
They do it with whiskey because there's almost this mentality of like, oh, I can't tarnish my food or my whiskey with the other thing.
Well, here's the other thing, and we've talked about this, but I don't know if we've ever said it like people can hear us, but he also does it with the appetizer and the dessert.
Yes, he does it for the 3-course meal,
which is like we don't listen. We don't want to give him too big of a like. We don't want to lose Prince, so we have to keep. We got to rein it in. We need to rein it in a little bit.
We can't have anyone else.
I try not to make too big of a deal out of it, but it is quite. He's like a magician. Like there's quite a thing going on. Like. You shall not pass, or you shall drink and eat at the same time.
I've told Mary,
that's Prince.
I love salads, but I won't buy a salad at a restaurant. His salads, dude, I would spend good money for his.
I said last time, I said your salads make me want to eat salad.
Yes,
yeah. Like I don't eat salad.
Like 36 years, almost 37 years. I don't like salad. But he makes me want to eat salad.
So Bob, you weren't at the last dinner that we had for the founders. It was almost this like Italian antipasta salad, but had cucumbers involved with it, and it reminded me of Bob's salad, Chris, but like with more veggies.
I remember telling him, I remember asking the group, like, do you guys feel like this would have been just as good or better without like bacon? Which is asinine.
Right.
That is an absurd. I'm like, I got down, I'm eating through it. I'm like, man, this is so good. And I got to the bacon. I'm like, oh, that kind of,
dude, anything. I feel
like that kind of took away from my experience.
Right.
But that seems ridiculous.
Anything's better with bacon.
And Mary's words were, I didn't like the salad. I was like, what didn't you like about the salad?
I think death would even be better with bacon.
But I honestly, that last salad we made, I think it would have been just as good, if not better, without the bacon.
Yeah, but because it was so damn good. Like nothing is better. Nothing's better without bacon. But that was so good. Maybe
I think it might have been. Yeah, I really, because I feel like the bacon. Like I was like, oh, I taste bacon now. But like, I want to go back to what the first 4 bites were before I got down to the bacon kind of thing.
I kind of get like a best of both worlds, being in both clubs. Because we're talking Prince here, okay? The second chapter had a bottle that I've had, and all you guys probably tried, Old Forester store pick from Tipsy. That's the bottle that they had for the Prince dinner. Prince rolled out this appetizer that was this pizza, but instead of traditional like marinara sauce, it was a caramelized onion and blackberry jam sauce.
Damn.
Prince, if you're listening, I don't appreciate the salads as much.
That sounds good.
It was amazing.
I'm just saying, the Founders Club gets salads. You guys get caramelized whatever this is.
It had like bacon, onions, ricotta, and then blackberries on top. Yeah.
I should tell him like I can just eat gluten. And
but then it had like fresh like blackberries sitting on top of all this. And it was like, what the heck? Like,
it was amazing.
What is going on? And then he made this like hot honey chicken that he did, fried hot honey chicken on white cheddar mac and cheese.
Just gonna sacrifice for the club. I'm just gonna tell him to gluten it up, dude. Don't worry about it.
Just take the next day off work so you can be on the toilet.
3 days. It's usually about 3 days, and I'm good.
Here's the fun for me. He did this based off of the bottle they had. So white cheddar mac and cheese.
Wait, what bottle was this around? Wait, he did collard greens?
Collard greens.
He never made me no collard greens.
I know, but this was the old...
I love those things,
This is the Old Forester Tipsy pick.
Yes.
Yes, and the dessert. Here's what I love. The
I could have
dessert.
been there. I could have done that.
The dessert
I'm
was
a loser, dude.
dessert was a non-gluten-free sweet potato pie like we had, but it had Old Forester, some of this whiskey in the whipped cream, and then had a blackberry on top of it.
I'm gonna.
So he looked at that and he's
start
like,
doing these dinners.
he literally was like, okay, so the sweet potato pie goes well with both bottles that we're having for Founders and the second chapter, but everything else I'm gonna change up. Who thinks that? Like, who looks at that and is like, oh, we're gonna change this, but everything else.
The kind of the base is there, but we're gonna mix it up. He does love making stuff with the whiskey that we give him,
Oh yeah.
especially like whipped cream or like
That's
a
the best thing,
pudding,
dude.
and it's like, oh, you put this whiskey in this dessert, and it tastes amazing, and it's like it amplifies your whiskey. It's not obviously not the same flavors, but you get a lot of those non-alcohol flavors that get pulled through the food, and then you have the alcohol with it, and it's like, man, this is incredible. My favorite meal by far that he has made has been the American light whiskey. At your
right,
house.
yeah.
I mean, it just.
What'd you
just
think
the way
about that
everything
dessert for
paired.
that?
So, if you ask me, like, oh, this would be the dessert you would like? I would say no. I would say that doesn't sound like a dessert. It's cornbread and like some fruit on top. But like the way everything paired with the bottle was so, and like the whiskey changed with the food. It wasn't the other way around. It wasn't like the food amplified or the food kind of pulled different. Like it was like the food changed the whiskey almost. It was very unique.
And the dessert, I told him like that was like the flavor change that happened within the dessert was mind blowing. And
Because it was like, oh, you really pull forward a lot of the fruit flavors in the appetizer because he had like the peach, like the charred peach or whatever it was in the salad. And then by the end, it's like cornbread, and you're like, this tastes like dusty corn. Yep. I don't know how that happened, but all of a sudden now all I get is the corn, it's like a sweet mellow corn kind of flavor on this whiskey. So
what's funny was that was supposed to be a cobbler,
okay,
and he screwed up on the cobbler.
and so he had to
figure something
out.
out. Yeah, he had to improvise.
Okay.
So the corn, the cakes that were on
the
top,
collar would have been.
the cakes on top was actually supposed to be the cobbler. And so he was like, he beats himself over, and he's like, oh, that's the worst thing. I wanted this. And I was like, that was amazing. Like it was still wonderful because it got the idea across.
I think it was Blake that talks about that dessert too. I think there's other people
I
that
feel like
really
he
like
beats
that meal.
himself up over the ones that we like the most. Which is so funny because it's like the things he messes up and it's like on a whim he tries to figure it out, or
It's like Bob
oh,
Ross.
it didn't go
Happy
right.
little mistakes.
Yeah, happy little mistake. And then we're all like, we love this. And he's like, well, it's not right. It wasn't
not
this.
what
It was
I
supposed to be
wanted, yeah.
that. And you're like, dude, we don't know the difference, obviously.
We have
Because
no
he
idea.
really had to be
We're
creative
licking
there.
the
Like
plate.
he really had to be an artist in that moment, and then we get to
And
reap the
it
benefit.
shows through. Yeah, for sure.
All I know is I'm jealous. And it sounded, you had me at cornbread. So,
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
it was
dude,
good.
Who doesn't like cornbread?
Oh,
I'm
bad
like,
people.
you think about like cornbread as a dessert? Like that?
Dude, cornbread is good on everything.
It's got
we
some
used,
warm
we used
butter.
to take
And he's like, oh, it's got a bourbon butter with
we used
this
to take
bourbon mixed
leftover
in.
cornbread in the morning.
So good.
After like eating it, because we ate a lot of cornbread growing up. We'd take the leftover, we'd warm it up, and then you put a little milk and sugar in there. Have you ever done that?
Ooh, no.
It's great. It's like a cereal. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was delicious.
just like rice, milk, and sugar.
Yeah. Same
except
thing.
with
Yeah.
cornbread. Yeah.
It's delicious. Yeah. I like this bottle. The more I drink it,
Yeah,
the more I like it.
not bad.
I really like it.
So again, I'm gonna go back to, and I'm wondering.
I would never say it's a weeded.
We've talked about bottles from Scotland not being a Scottish bottle. It's not made for them. It's made for America. Everything I've found on this bottle does not seem to be American. They boast being Indiana. They boast all about it's Indiana bourbon, Indiana whiskey, but it's most popular in New Zealand.
We got to think, if you're in New Zealand, something from Indiana, America, probably sounds pretty cool.
But also,
It doesn't sound cool to us, but
No.
to them, it probably sounds cool, right?
but if we're talking New Zealand, okay, it's probably
Feel like
it's
Indiana
gonna be,
sounds like a cool place.
We
If
love
we-
America.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
America.
we think New Zealand, so okay, it's similar to maybe Australia, but you also think so. Like Lord of the Rings was filmed in New Zealand, so you think about that like environment.
I've
that,
heard
like,
it's like the best place to visit as a tourist
so why this bottle?
because it's good. I think it's got non-American flavors going on. maybe to them it's more American than,
maybe
than what I'm
this,
getting.
maybe they have a
but-
limited supply of American stuff, and this is so unique. It's like a Heineken.
Yeah, like a Heineken. Heineken is a good apt description because Heineken's a different tasting beer. It's a
I think it tastes like
pilsner.
grass.
It's kind of like people call it skunky, but it's different. I when I could drink beer, I used to drink a lot of Heineken. I liked it because it was unique. It was different. There's no other beer like Heineken. There might be some kind of like it, but it was very distinct and different. That's how this bourbon is.
Yeah.
It's very distinct and different.
I would say it's kind of like and going back to why they like something from Indiana. It's like the Germany. When I went to Germany, they jack everything.
Oh yeah, Jack
They
Daniels.
were huge into Jack Daniels, and I'm sitting there going
Because it's American.
and I'm there, and I'm just like, why'd you pick Jack?
Yeah.
I mean, Jack, okay, Jack and Coke. I like Jack and Coke, but why?
Oh, I have a lot of friends that in Germany, but they appreciate, like you said, like American shows and movies, but the way that we would appreciate German stuff or stuff from other countries. Like we think, oh, France is amazing. Nobody in France is like, we're amazing. You know what I mean? Like they're probably just like, we're whatever. American, that's cool.
No, I definitely feel like the French are definitely like, we are the best.
Yeah,
Yes.
they might be like, we are the best.
We are the best. Yes.
Baguette and wine.
Yeah, we got the baguette and the wine and the promiscuity,
Cognac.
cognac and the
Our
naked
language is
ladies.
superior.
Yes.
Yeah,
Art is superior.
yeah.
Food.
We no violence. But anyway, back to what we're drinking and smoking. Let's talk about
Yeah, well, I
that.
was gonna say, does this work?
It's super dry, but it's smoking well.
Yeah.
Doesn't have it's not as full flavored as I remember it being. I think this is one of those tobaccos you kind of have to get fresh.
So, are there tobaccos that you should age and cellar? Others you shouldn't.
Most tobaccos will be better with age. Aromatics, not so much. Some Englishes have a peak point, usually 9 years.
Virginia's
Is about the peak point.
Virginia's are the ones.
Virginia's or Virginia Pre or anything that's like non-aromatic or non-English, the longer the better.
Okay.
Like
because the flavors meld so much better.
it should-
and you get
and-
the
and
we
like
talked
from-
about this a little bit, the oxidization.
when it
and
gets
stuff.
past like 9 or 10 years, like every year is like massive difference, right? Really good Englishes will do the same thing at some point. Some point there's a cutoff. I think it's probably before what you get with like Virginia blends.
And I think it's the oils with the English blends.
It's got to stay
So I think once-
hydrated.
yeah, I feel like
This
once
is
those
dry.
oils start to kind of dissipate, that's where you start to lose.
I don't think that this one. I think if I had taken this out of the tin and jarred it, it would have been okay. But for some reason, it dried out in the tin. Maybe it came too dry. I don't know. But if there's no moisture, it's not going to mature. And this one didn't mature. It's not as matured as it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely get some of like the incense off of it, like that type of flavor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't say it's a full flavor.
It shouldn't. It for the amount of
Like-
time.
Smoking this and like you smell like a Boswell's Northwoods, it's just like, yeah, these aren't the same.
If
Like,
you
there's
were
not-
to
not
try
quite there.
this against Penzance, which is what this is supposed to be, you'd be like,
Penzance would smoke
big.
it.
The thing is, Penzance in 10, 20 years, you pull that out, it is like freaking oily. But
What almost like
Germain's-
crystallizes a little
They
bit.
they
too,
put
even.
they pack it with a lot of liquid. Like so, a lot of people will gripe because if you open up a fresh tin of Esoterica, it's wet. But they do that because they want it to age.
They want you to age it.
Yeah, and if you wait 10, 12, 15 years and open up a tin of Esoterica, it's the perfect drying, like perfect moisture content to smoke, and it is aged. It's matured.
I
It
feel
is
like
like
it's kind of the same with
dark,
like
dark,
Samuel
dark.
Gayworth.
yeah,
They're a little more,
or Hogarth and
Gayworth and Hogarth.
yeah.
They,
a lot of
they
those.
tend to be a lot more moist, and it's like, oh, everyone's like, oh yeah, age those. Like those are the ones you want to age.
You put them
Whereas
back
if something's
and
a little bit drier naturally, like kind of off the rip, it's not going to age very well because that moisture just kind of pulls all those flavors and kind of blends them and melds them really well. Whereas if you don't have it, it doesn't do as much.
right. I don't think this one benefited from the.
I think the first one definitely did. I don't think this one did as much.
But this is supposed to
it's still good.
be
Still good.
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all. No,
similarity
it's very
to
good.
Penzance.
It's supposed to, it was Russ's version of a match. It's not anywhere close.
Okay.
Here's the thing: when people talk about Penzance, like anybody in the pipe tobacco smoking community is gonna be like, "Oh, Penzance, I've heard of it. It's amazing. It's legendary. It's whatever." People are like, is it really worth it? And I'm always like, it really is. Like, there's no like.
That
like,
was
there's
my
a-
first question for you.
There's a lot of things.
I was like, is it really worth it? Is it really that good? And you're like, I'm like, what's so special? I remember asking you like, what's so special about Penzance? Like everyone talks about Penzance like it's like the holy grail, and you're like, it's just that good.
It's just that.
That's literally
good.
exactly what your comment, like your statement was like. It's just that good. And then once you've smoked it, and if you like it in English, it's like, yep,
That's the
that
best.
makes sense. That's the gold standard. You know, like that's it.
It's like if you ever had those experiences where you're like, I hope this lives up to my expectations.
Yeah.
And then that thing exceeds your expectations. That's Penzance. That's how good it is. Like you're not gonna try as a pipe smoker, you're not gonna try it and be like, it was what I thought it was gonna be, or it was less than what I thought it was. It's always like this was better than I imagined it would be. And that's really kind of a awesome experience, like that's
Like, I
really
would
something.
Probably qualify this closer to like I could see it being more of like a Margate.
I think Margate's better than this for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I feel like flavor-wise and
it's
like
close.
what's there, I feel like it's a little closer
It
to
comes
Margate.
close to Margate, yeah.
Or even like, and really, I mean, honestly, it's really close to Mississippi River.
I was gonna say, I'm glad you said that because it's very similar in the way not the presentation, but the way it smokes. The flavor is very close to Mississippi River, very close.
I feel like that's what it reminds me of the most is that Mississippi River.
Yeah, and it's even cut the same kind of way. Yep, I would agree.
So speaking of the idea of trying something and going, this is not what I expected, it might be something better, or just not what I expected. This bottle, before you sipped it, before we really got into it, your response to me and talking about it was, so why the heck are we having this on the podcast?
Because it's a white label. Yeah.
Okay, so knowing that and having it, does that change things for you?
I hate that it's a white label because
Why?
this is really good. Like it's not. Look, we've drank a lot of MGP, right? Like almost every, like I want to say 9 out of 10 times we can say that's MGP. Would you say that?
Based off of flavor, no.
Based on the taste? No, the nose, sure, but not on the taste, right? So that right there is kind of like what? Also, like I have not seen much stuff come out of MGP with that high of a weeded component.
I can't really think of anything that comes out that high. That's why it's a weird. MGP is not weed. They don't do weeders.
They don't.
It's
and
not a
then
normal
also,
thing.
if I were to read you the specs before you drink it, which we normally do,
Right.
this would throw you for a loop, right? So all these things together, it's kind of like, what the hell is this?
Right.
And then you have like 3 different companies that are technically like, like
so much going on.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like there's a middleman maybe, or is it?
It's like no one wants to claim it.
Yeah,
Like
I don't
what
know.
is happening? Yeah.
It's I will say there's intrigue, there's flavor. Whether you like it or not, there's flavor. You can't deny it. It's different, and it's at a good price point, right?
about $52 is normal.
Okay, yeah, that's great. It is an interesting bottle. You should try. Like, and that's one of those things that, like, if I were to say I've got a very interesting bottle, you should try. You'd be like, yes, it's from MGP. You'd be like, huh? That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
Me
interesting.
saying that it's an interesting bottle you should try and it's from MGP should make you go, what? I got to try it. I've got to try it, right? That should make you want to try it. Like it's an MGP bottle that I'm saying you should try. Not many out there that are like that.
Yeah.
That's my thing. What do you guys think?
I mean, for me, it caught me off guard.
Why?
When I looked at the bottle and then I heard some of the things you guys said, I thought it was going to be cheap tasting, honestly. I took the first drink and it took me back a little bit. Again, a taste that I didn't recognize.
Yeah.
I honestly like it. I mean, I would probably pick me up another one.
Would you look for it after having this?
Yes.
Okay.
And I probably would have rated it between $40 to $60, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I'm also one of those guys that I know you're gonna look down on me on this one, but I look at the labels and I look at the bottle and I'm kind of like, oh, that looks like it'd be cool. I'm gonna buy that but it looks to me when I look at it, it looks like something my grandpa would have on his shelf, and I would have bought it for that reason.
Yeah.
But no, I like the taste, so I probably would have bought it again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, contrary to what you would think, is I'm a sucker for some marketing. If you have some really good marketing, I might just buy your bottle, even if it sucks. Like I'm not a huge Blanton's fan. It's a little expensive for what it is. I'm not. Is it bad? No, absolutely not. It's good bourbon. Is it worth the price that we pay for in Ohio? No. But am I always going to have a bottle on my shelf? Absolutely. I'm always going to have that bottle because the bottle it's just iconic. You know, the Caribou Crossing, like not a fan at all. Bottle is beautiful. Would I buy it again? Nope. Do I have a bottle on my shelf? Yep. You know,
I would have guessed that you were a marketing guy.
So yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of background in some marketing. So for me, I think there's something to it. Like, you know, the Doc Holliday bottles, it's like those are cool. But also in the back of my head, I automatically assume the more marketing you have, the more special your bottle and your label looks, the less value I place on your whiskey. So I think for, you know, if you got a decent whiskey and it's in a really cool bottle and it's at a good price, yeah, sign me up. I'll buy a bottle of it. Will I be a repeat consumer? Probably not.
Or a champion of the bottle.
Yeah. Am I going to go out and tell everyone I love this bottle and it's the best bottle ever because it looks cool? No. I think it looks cool on my shelf. Absolutely. You know, like Willet pot still. Do I like Willet? No. Did I like pot still? Absolutely not. Is the bottle awesome? Yes. Do I have that bottle on my shelf as a decanter? Yes.
That's
clearly I emptied it, but you know,
You
so
didn't like it.
there is something to it, you know. And I not pick on Willet, and I don't. Like I said, you know,
I love Willet.
that was just kind of my
anybody wondering
first,
listening.
Yeah, that was my
Willet's
first
champion.
introduction to rye, so I always kind of pick on Willet a little bit. I love what they do, and it's kind of a love hate. I feel like you either love it or you hate it.
They're a bit of an underdog.
Yeah,
And very polarizing.
they're polarizing for sure. But for for me, this bottle doesn't do much for me. I'm not saying it's a bad bottle. For me, I try to think of a bottle as you have to go out and buy this, or it's a buy at this price, or it's a try before you buy. And for me, this is a try before you buy. I'm curious. I saw you add some water. What did you think after adding some water? Did it change?
It drastically changed it.
For good or for worse?
For different.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
for good or for bad, but it was like, it is like I'm sipping on a completely different whiskey now, completely different bottle.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I felt too. Very
like some
different.
similarities of like, okay, I got this, I got that, but it oddly enough, like you said, proofed it down enough to where like you talk about that bite that like you can feel it in the back.
Nothing.
It's not there.
It's gone.
With water,
I don't know if I'd like
like-
it without that. I don't think I'd like it without.
It's
My
like
question,
it's a
though,
rye
is-
burn now.
Herm, do you think that it's a it's a challenging bottle, or it's an experience? Do you think that this was trying this was this an experience for you?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's a bottle that I would try. Or if you had a bottle, or somebody had a bottle, and they're like, "Hey, you should try this," I would try it.
And you'd go, "Wow," or it wouldn't be
But
like
I feel like it's polarizing. I feel like this
it's
one's
not a ho hum
for me.
right?
Hearing you guys talk about it, and it's like, man, I'm like, I don't get any of that, like really like that love for it.
Yeah. Well, I
and
think
so
there's
I think
times
for
that
me
me
it's
and Nick
just-
love something. This is where I'm getting at. It's because it's a change, because it's a
And-
challenge, because it's polarizing, because it's
For
it's
me-
different.
You know, I like an MGP rye. When you guys talk about MGP, it's like you see a bottle, and it's almost like you can tell it's MGP. You don't even have to taste it or smell it. You just got like for you guys,
Yeah,
and for
we
me,
just
I
know.
can't do that. Probably for the same for you in terms of like I may like it or may not like MGP, but I can't like that's MGP. I already know. I don't. It's a blind, and I'm like, you know, I'm sure
Which
like
we
there's a,
always
if you
do
guys,
that.
if I blinded
Yeah.
some whiskey,
Smell is like MGP.
you guys would be like MGP.
Yep.
Done.
And I think that's why we like it so much, because
lineup.
this is MGP and it's different.
Yeah,
Right.
And that's why I like that.
And
It's
I'm
I got to
approaching
try
it more-
something new. I got to have a new experience. That's why I appreciate it. I get to have a new
And I
experience.
approach it more of as like this is just as whiskey. This
Yeah.
is just like,
Yeah.
do I want
And
this?
as a whiskey, is it good or not good? Maybe for me, and not so much.
Yeah, it's okay.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get
and
what you're
would I
saying.
pay more
Yeah.
than $40 for it? Absolutely not.
And what's fun
And that's
for
a
me.
fair assessment for that kind of viewpoint on it. Yeah.
I think what's fun for me is the fact that these two bottles we've never had, never seen. Maybe we'll never see or have again. The next two we're going to have later on are ones that we've either seen, tried, or whatever. Someone's talked about. Chris talks about the experience. I think for me and Chris, when we first started in whiskey, do you remember this? We literally would go to a liquor store. I'd come visit him. We'd go to a liquor store and spend hours just staring at bottles.
Hours. And we would buy
To the point where
a few bottles.
We probably had guys like the store, like probably two guys from the store come up like, hey, Do you need help?
I
And
help?
it was they changed shifts.
There was no there was no resources
No,
online, so we had to kind of figure this stuff out between like what we could Google a little bit, what we could read, and then what the person would know or not know.
And granted, I feel like back then, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, back then in Ohio, we actually had, I feel like, more of a selection.
There was more of a selection back then.
More of a
it was
selection.
less regulated than it is now in Ohio.
So now to find these bottles and go, I've never seen these bottles. I've never tried these bottles. I don't know what these are like. To me, that's worth every penny for the experience of like, let's see what this is going to be.
And we love to try new things.
And it's always been about the experience.
That's why we're a part of the club. It's like a FOMO thing. Like there's that fear of missing out. Like I want to try everything.
Yeah, right.
I may not like it, but I still want to try.
I want to have the experience.
You can tell me this whiskey is disgusting.
Look, I hate.
And I'm like, how bad is it?
I hate riding roller coasters. I don't like it. I get enough excitement as it is. I don't need it. Okay, I've been hundreds of feet above the ground and like, been and almost fallen. Like I don't need to actually simulate that. I don't need to do it. But I get the idea of experiencing that as an experience, like wanting to have that as an experience and to save it in your memory.
The up and down.
I did that. I did that. I checked that thing off. I get it. So that for me is like what trying different bourbons. You could be like, you're gonna hate this. You're gonna hate this so much for these reasons. And then I try and be like, I hate it. You know what I mean?
For these reasons.
But I'm glad I tried it because it's an experience I got to have.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? So I might hate getting on roller coasters, but I'll do it because I've not been on this one.
Yeah, I remember we had a club,
give it a go,
night, and you guys it was a whiskey, and it had some neutral grain spirits in it. And I remember seeing you guys drinking it, and I had to do something different in my hand. And everyone was kind of like, "Hey, here, he's passing this bottle around." And I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, "You guys all said you don't like it. I don't want to try it." And yet I still tried. Tried it.
You got to have the experience.
And I was like, "Nope." Like one sip in, I was like, "Nope, not for me."
Yeah.
I'm good. But I still wanted to try that for that experience. Yeah. And like for me, I'm scared of heights. Like, and then to go, like my brother and I went on a trip to Zion, and I did Angel's Landing, which is absurd if you're scared of heights.
Yeah, same thing I'm talking about.
And it's just like I have to do it. He's like, I can't do it. And he hiked all the way up to the top and like,
you've done
got
it
to the point of like no return. He was like, I'm done. He's like, you're on your own from here. I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm here. This is my one shot. I'm going to do it. Terrified. And like, now I have that like lasting memory.
And
it's like, maybe it's bad. Maybe it's good. Yeah. It doesn't really matter. Like why it's just going to be burned in there forever as like a core memory. So yeah, I think we as a group have that FOMO. And for you guys, I think that's why this bottle stands out more. Is because you're like, oh, this is MGP. This is what it should be. I think if you guys had not known this was MGP coming in, I don't think you would have the same opinion of this bottle as you do now. Whereas I think I approach everything of like, this is just whiskey. Like, do I like it or do I not like it?
I think we would have smelled it.
Is it different enough that I really love it or whatever? And it does smell. I mean, it has that smell. We would have
said it smells like MGP, but I don't think after we drank it, we would have said this is MGP.
Yeah, if Steve didn't tell us right away, we'd try and be like, I don't know.
That in itself is what's so amazing.
Yeah.
When's the last time we tried something from MGP that we weren't like,
there was white labeled.
Yeah,
MGP.
we always called it. And I don't think I would have said that. Yeah, it makes it a good experience.
It makes it something different.
Yeah, a good experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think it depends on your
We're enjoying
profile.
it because
you're
we
somebody
got to try
who can really
something
like
familiar.
Pick out MGP
that's not
and
familiar.
you're that kind of palate, or you're so familiar with MGP. I think it'll be interesting for you.
It's like role playing.
Sure.
Familiar.
I view it as you guys trying tobacco from a company that you know this is their flavor. This is normal. You don't know what it is. You try it and you go, wow, this is amazing. Right? And Chris is like, oh, it's this. And you're like, no, there's no way that it's that. Yeah, it's that. Like you kind of have this idea of like, based off of flavor, no idea. You try and you're like, wow, I've never had this before. I've never experienced this before.
Well, and that's what we go with pipe tobacco even more so. Like with pipe tobacco, it's very much like you're chasing new experiences. Because if you already like a certain blend, are you going to have 3 or 4 of that same blend? You're not. You're going to stick with that one blend, whoever does it the best, and you're going to move on. Like I can tell you, like there's a few vapors I like, but there's basically 1 or 2 that I'm like, this is it. Like that's it. I can't do that with bourbon. I can do that with pipe tobacco. Like there's a few vapors that I'm like, this is it. I could take it or leave the rest. You know what I mean? Same thing with English, Burleys, whatever it is. But like it's a lot more limited. And I can't think of a lot of blends.
In the tobacco world, you have a lot less choices.
Yeah,
too.
there's less choices, but
Especially
I can't think of
from a quality.
But there's a lot of vapors out there, and I can't think of like 9 or 10 that I'm like these are all must-haves. There's a lot of good ones, but I can think of 2 or 3 that I'm like this is it. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of bourbons that I'm like this one and 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 this one. These are all must-haves. You know what I mean? That's different. That's interesting.
I've been trying to figure out since I poured water in this what this reminds me of, and I feel like Chris now has to do a drop of water.
Okay, give me a drop. I don't have water. I have LaCroix. I'm bougie
because
I can't put LaCroix in there.
It reminds me of cognac.
No.
Yeah.
The white grape.
Well, I have
Just one
coffee,
drop?
so I can't
Just
drop
a
it.
small drop, yeah.
I guess, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about white grape and like that sourness to it, yeah. I can see that.
It's
Yeah.
that like white cognac, like that white grape almost.
I'm not
feel.
as experienced with cognac, so I can't.
It was Nick's
speak to
water,
that.
so
Yeah.
it smells like semen.
Nick.
Just tell him like what I tell my son. It's
that
like,
one sent him over the edge. He's like,
that's
I can't
fresh
come
out
back.
I always tell him like that's like he'll fill up his water at bedtime. Like, yep, that's fresh out the toilet after he takes a drink.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my god.
Wow, that really amplifies the salt.
But almost like a sour salt.
You can't say that
that's
after what you
very
said
salty.
about where the water came from.
Yeah, exactly. It's
probably
very
the-
salty. That
It's
makes
probably
more
that
sense now.
salty water that
I have an aftertaste of salt. That's how salty it is.
Yeah, I feel like for me it changed it quite a bit, but it amplified that.
The salt. Yeah.
Maybe that's what I get for cognac is like a
Not in a bad
like
way,
a
but
sour salt, like a white grape salt.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
And that's what when you say like, is this whiskey an experience? Yeah, it's an experience. Do you like it or do you not like it? It's not for me. Would I say,
but do
hey,
you
do not-
appreciate it? That's a
Yeah.
different
I
question.
wouldn't say, hey, don't buy that. That's a shit bottle. Like it's gross.
Right.
I wouldn't say that. I would maybe disclaimer it with like, hey, what is your profile? What do you like? What are you
we
looking
should ask
for?
that. We should ask, do you like it? And then do you appreciate it? Because there's some like there might be somewhere you like and don't appreciate because it tastes like everything else I've had.
Yeah.
But there might be some that you don't like, but you appreciate it for what it is. There's might be some that just suck.
Yeah, I mean, for
We've
me,
had plenty that just
the
suck.
Sonoma blows this out of the water. Just from a pure flavor, there's so much going on. It's
You-
so
you
unique
liked
and
it better.
different. I love the
Okay.
Sonoma. Yeah,
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. Like that's a bottle I would seek out to have on the shelf to be like, hey, one of those nights where you're just like, what I don't want a scotch. I don't want that. Like, what do I want? Like I want a drink, but I don't want the everyday kind of feel, or like even like just like that kind of more bourbon. Where do I want to go? Like, let me grab that. And that's where that's kind of where that rye, a lot of ryes will kind of fulfill that. Like, but like for me, it's more of like the flavored stuff, or
Okay.
like not flavored, I guess,
Like
the
the
finished. Yeah. So like a whipsaw or the mezcal finish rye that we got from Wiggle, like those type of things. Like that's where that Sonoma feel like it fits in that kind of category. It feels like a finished.
See, I have a hard
whiskey.
time, and I think Nick, you would agree with me. I have a really hard time pulling back from that, like very objective, this flavor versus this flavor, and I allow the experience to warp my overall experience, and then that will tinge my love or not hate, but my love for something. Like I will definitely put something on a pedestal, like Rittenhouse. I will put that on a pedestal, probably higher than it should be, because of the experiences we've had with it, along with the flavor and the history and the story and the
Right.
mash bill and everything else.
I would agree, but ours is something different, and unique in the fact that we got started into whiskey for the experience.
For the
We were
experience,
at the liquor
we
store,
never
being
did
like,
it for the flavor,
right. It was
Yeah.
always like, what's something new? And then we'd come here and we'd open it, and we'd probably have dinner afterwards.
and we didn't. We never Googled it.
Yeah.
We decided what we thought about it.
Right. So it was always the experience. We
Yeah.
had some duds and we had some greats along
And,
the way.
and we
but
still
like, it was
chase. We
always-
chase the experience.
Yes, it was
We
always
don't chase the
experience.
whiskey. We chase the experience.
And I feel like you two had more of a preconceived notion of what this should be.
Yeah.
what this probably would be, what you were
Also,
expected,
yeah,
and because it was
on
so
the flip
different.
flop of that, things could also like
expectations.
lower very quickly for us versus other people not so much. Something could disappoint us really quickly because we kind of lead with this whole experience
Right.
type
It wasn't
of,
worth the experience.
like, this is supposed to
Yeah.
be from this distillery. We know this distillery. We like this distillery. This is not good. All of a sudden,
Or-
I hate it. You know,
Or it's the thing
it's
of
not
like,
that bad. You
I
know?
knew it was locally sourced
Yeah.
or told it was. Now it's not.
I
Like you
was
had the
told-
experience. You know,
told
like
me that was locally
had
sourced
this,
from
yeah.
California,
So it was-
not Canada.
But it was that
Just
experience of like,
north of.
this is locally sourced. This is something that's local. All the grains are there. And then we try and we're like, okay, this experience was not what I was told. It was not what I was prepared for. Like, this is something different along the way. But the guy that's trying to get away from this, Bob, I'm very, very curious. I saw your cringe moment of you would go after not the Sonoma.
Oh.
What was that cringe moment?
Okay, well, first off, I need to take it back just a second because we were talking about Rittenhouse.
Yep.
I need to give a shout out to Ryan because he introduced me to that and gave me a cigar pipe after he found out mine was broke.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Good job, Ryan.
Attaboy, Ryan.
You gotta
Gentleman
love that
and
guy.
a scholar.
There's not a man alive that doesn't like Ryan. That meets him, you know.
Before then, I don't know.
If you don't know him, you don't know him.
Yeah, you don't know him. You don't know him. Sorry,
Such a good
Look.
dude.
I'm pretty sure my wife was happy the house didn't smell like cigar or pipe tobacco for a while, but thanks, Ryan. But I will say with the Sonoma and the dock. So I will say for the Sonoma, I do like it. And that would probably be my like morning sipper. I honestly think that would be a great morning or afternoon sipper, but I'm totally going for the dock for the evening.
Yes.
The taste.
Okay. So Chris and I talk about the moment, the memory. And there was almost this like glimmer in your eye of like Herm saying Sonoma and be like, no. And looking at the dock, like there was a reason you looked at the dock of like this.
But you have to take into account that he said morning versus night.
Right.
And I wholeheartedly agree with that assessment.
I agree,
but you're asking a different question.
I mean, there was something else there.
So I go.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not. So when I'm thinking of the dock, I'm thinking of old school, like I'm thinking of my grandpa listening to Frank Sinatra, pulling out his bottle. Grandma cook again, making the toffee, the saltwater toffee. So it's bringing back like memories for me. And when I taste it, I can taste that. And I'm not saying this is like some $80 bottle or anything, but this is like, to me, a good cheaper bottle that I can enjoy at night and still.
It's an everyday drinker.
It's an everyday sipper, and I honestly, I think I have a different palate than most, but I really like the taste of this.
I love that because Chris and I always talk about the memory that's tied with the bottle. Like it brings up something. And I love the fact that Herm's like, guys, the Sonoma is worth it. The dock is okay. Sonoma all day. I'll take that. And for you, you're like, the Sonoma is good. But there's a memory that this just triggers. I'm not saying this is amazing.
With the dock, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying the dock is amazing, but I'm saying I've got this memory that it triggers. When I smell this, when I drink it, when I look at it.
The dock is a porch whiskey.
Yes.
And if you grew up with grandparents specifically, the type that would wake up at 5:30 every morning and smoke cigarettes the entire day and drink black coffee, no matter if it was 120 degrees outside, and went yard sailing.
And it was outside. They went
yard sailing in a very old Buick. These are your grandparents, right? That reminds me of evenings on my grandparents' porch with the mosquitoes coming in and the cicadas buzzing. And they're making dinner in their smelly, cigarette smelly house. And you're going to eat it, right? That does invoke a memory. The Sonoma, not so much memory, but it is good. I do like it. It's different. It's fresh. It's different. It's
a moment versus a memory.
Moment versus a memory.
Yes.
Herm.
It creates a moment versus a memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I can agree with that. And like I said, I don't have a memory that I can tie to that bottle. So but I see what you're saying is like, that's more of that classic, like just it kind of, it's that experience, right? It kind of ties everything together. Whereas if you're just looking for the flavor and for that moment, what's different? And I was jokingly giving him a hard time. And it's like, do you think that the Sonoma is your breakfast or your daytime drinker because it's got some flavor and it's like a meal in a glass, and then your other the other bottle, this bottle is more of it's an evening drink because it's boring and I'm ready to go to sleep. For me, that's
it's a little hardier.
But when as you hearing him say that, I definitely understand like why if you have that memory that it ties you. We talk about this all the time, like the dusty corn bottles. Like that's the grain forward stuff always gets me. The Barker's Mill, right? Like that's like my favorite. Like I can't shake it. Like I keep going back to that bottle because I love that grain forward dusty barn.
Slap
it just
in the
takes
face.
me back to like when I was a little kid. Why I don't know. I mean, I worked on some farms, but I was never in like a dusty old corn barn.
Those sight, sound, smell like memories. Yeah,
and I can see where this bottle could have that effect. Especially if you're like a saltwater toffee or taffy and whatever. I just don't have that. I feel like for me, I don't have that connection to pull it all together. Is the bottle good? Yeah, it's not bad. But hearing someone talk about it like that, it makes me want to like, I almost like, as he's talking, I was like, I need to pour another glass.
Did I try this wrong before?
Like, did I try the wrong glass? Yeah. Like what, did I do something wrong here? And maybe it's because I'm smoking that it changed it a little bit.
That's what spirits is all about.
Yeah.
You're bringing back past memories and present memories and thinking of the future too. Like it's all spirits, you know what I mean? Like that's what it's all about. I think if it was just about the liquid inside, we've talked about this. If it was just about the liquid inside, we would not be talking about this with a microphone in our face. People wouldn't want to hear about it. People wouldn't want to join a club or listen to a podcast or anything. It's more than just the liquid.
It's kind of like we mentioned this idea of shots versus sips. Yeah. There's shots versus sips. We don't do the shots. No. We're the sips.
Like there are times in your life where you do some shots,
Right. Yeah. But those
times might not be done.
There's moments for shots. There's moments for sips. And these are the moments that we're like, this is the sips. These are the conversations. These are the...
You don't get conversations with the shots.
Right. There's a reason why we really haven't had much of Jameson on the podcast. Jameson is a shot.
I like we talked about. I like to talk about it because of the memories I have. Right, but fond memories of taking shots. Yeah,
right. It's a shot. I mean,
it's sometimes sipping, but for the most part, it's pretty.
It gets up there for sips.
Pretty blackout. Yeah.
There's certain bottles that are like it's a shots. There's some that are the sips. It's the conversation.
I don't know. I'm trying to really kind of just find something there, and there is something there. The second time around, so I just kind of cleansed my palate a little bit, had some water, set down the pipe for a little while, and I did pour myself a little bit more of this. The Sonoma. No, of the Doc whiskey. And there's something there, and I can't put my finger on it. And I would like to say that you sold me on it in terms of like the way you talked about it, like. It made me want to pour another glass, right. And it was like, I wasn't even sure I liked it or I didn't like it, but your argument was compelling. And I'm like, man, let me go back to that memory. Let me see if I can pull a memory, if it's not that memory, and I get a little bit more of that sweet, that caramelly sweetness now. Still very proofy, still got a lot of bite to it, but different still. Like I said, I had it, neat with the smoke, and then I had it with a little bit of water. And now I'm coming back to it neat without the smoke. And it is different. It's got a little bit more to it now. I wouldn't say it's bad. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's something I would jump to still. I don't know. There's something weird. It's just honestly, that makes me almost want to buy a bottle of it. Which comes back to, I guess it circles back to like, I feel like a flake almost.
It kind of just turns
I can't even stand on my own ground. Like it's that there's something to it. And it's like, I almost need to buy a bottle and just drink it and be like, do I like this or do I not?
How amazing. We've talked about this. But how amazing is whiskey? This is the stuff that makes me and Nick geek out and get excited. Because all of a sudden perspective changes everything. And with drinking whiskey without perspective is like a blind person appreciating art. It just does. It's not going to happen. I can explain it to you. You're not going to get it. But when you see it, things change.
It's like different. It's like different whiskeys are going to speak to you differently.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's certain things like certain people might try Barker's Mill and be like, that's not good. I don't like I feel like Blake would be like, nope, don't like that.
But I love that. It's
like me, I was like, I tried it and it was like, I was kind of mind blown the first time I tried it at your house. And after that point, I was like, and I looked for it. I was like, I'm going to keep my eye out for it. I'm going to get this bottle at some point. Like that's on my wish list. And I found it recently, but it had been a really long time. It had been almost probably a year, if not more than since I had tried it. And then I got my hands on it and I was like, I really hope this doesn't disappoint me. Because I remember loving it, but I didn't remember why. Like, I just remember being like, I remember like the first sip I took, I looked at Nick and I was like, I need this bottle. And he's like, well, not in Ohio. Good luck. I'm like,
good luck with that.
But anyway, I remember listening to the podcast. Yeah. And so for me, I'm like, man, I'm gonna find this bottle. And so when I got it, I was like, oh, and I cracked it open and I had a drink and I was like, and it was just like, boom, that rush of like all of the flavor. And I'm like, man, this is what I look for. Dude, it's for me, this is the gold standard of like
poetry.
Flavor. Yeah.
Poetry to me, if you've ever read poetry at a certain stage in your life and be like, okay, I don't get it. And later on, you read it and you're like, this hits me, right? Or vice versa, something that hit you when you were a teenager. Now you read it and you're like, God, I was immature. You know what I mean? It's just an interesting thing that a collection of words written down by somebody, it expressed feelings that you read at a certain phase of your life didn't touch you, but at a different phase does. And that to me is what makes poetry valuable. Whether you like it or not, there's room for appreciation in there depending on the stage of your life you're in, right?
Well, it's like any good literature. You can
any good literature. Yeah,
you go back and read a book that you read in high school that you didn't appreciate or you didn't really kind of grasp everything that was there, and it's like this is like the ultimate penultimate book or novel, and it's like
the leg up that poetry gets over books is there's less words, so it's easier to you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you go back and you read a book as like an adult after you've had kids or after you've experienced loss, right? Like, and then it's like, whoa.
The best is when you read something that touched you when you were younger and you read it again when you're older and it touches you in a different way. That's powerful. But I just love that aspect. And I think that spirits have that. Not all, but we just heard that from Herm.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that should be taken note of and should be revered.
And I think again, that's the experience that I love.
Yeah.
We tried something new and it was like, oh, I didn't like it at first. And then I tried it again. I was like, oh, maybe it's not that I don't love it.
I don't think now I have something this different. Undecided on the bottle.
Yeah,
but I think
it happens.
In your indecision, we've seen you mature in the last 5 minutes.
You have a different perspective because you're like, this is something. This means something to someone else.
That
I care about. And you're like,
it's like
wow.
you hear about it. And
you're like,
let me pull that.
You unlock parts of your brain.
Let me feel that memory
yourself. Yeah.
Right.
Because like I know that memory. I've had that. Like I've had that experience. Let me tie that memory to this flavor. And it's
thinking of it in that way, I appreciated it. And that's cool.
It is cool.
Like,
it's a lot of fun to watch.
I'm gonna geek out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like silly because it's like I was so like, man, it just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it for me. And now I'm like, well, you kind of sold it. Let me go back and try it.
The number of times, the number of times that Chris is like, I hate this bottle. It's not the best. And then Steve and I talk about it, he's like, okay, well, maybe.
Well, hold on a minute.
Hold on. Okay.
So for me, that's where I stand with Willet, right? Like I keep revisiting that bottle.
Because I say nothing but good stuff about Willet.
Yeah, I bought the Willet 4-year rye and I bought the Willet pot still. Pot still I was not a huge fan of. It was just kind of too funky for me. But the bottle was great. I'm like, the bottle's awesome. It's worth having like around. And some people love it. Some people hate it. You're either one or the other.
There's only 2 camps. Yeah.
And then the 4-year rye, I can't, I'm like walking the line, right? Of like, I like it. I don't like it. I hate it. And then next time I try it, I'm like, it's not so bad. But for me, I'm very indecisive. And for like this bottle feels like that. But for me, it feels like I've been, and I feel like almost like dirty, like I've been swayed. And it's like, I don't know. I don't like this. And
when's the last time you felt that about any other product?
Yeah. I mean, and I think that
what makes whiskey to powerful. The experience. It's a powerful product, I
feel like most whiskeys I try it and I'm like, emotion. This is good, this is bad, or I'm very indifferent. And I felt like I was indifferent, leaning towards like, I don't really care for this. I could see why certain people would like it, but not for me. And then now coming back to it and revisiting it, I'm like, do I like it?
Like, hold on.
I don't know.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Was I an a-hole?
Yeah, like, was I too quick?
Yeah. I've done that
It's like,
so many
did I
times.
judge this book by its
Hold on.
cover?
Did I jump
and-
on this too quick?
Let me backpedal here.
And
a
for
little
me,
bit.
it's would it be something I would chase? No. Is it something that's worthwhile to drink with friends? Like, if we pulled this out at Whiskey Club, would I have another glass and just kind of talk with the guys about it? Probably.
I mean, let me ask you this:
Because I've had this experience with
after
you guys.
all of this, do you appreciate the fact that you had it versus not having it?
Yeah.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
that's how
all
I
that
always,
it needs
I
to
mean,
be.
I won't say I always feel that way about
Did
whiskey.
it add to your overall the overall what
Yeah.
makes you Herm, right?
There's enough of a differential here that I can feel something.
Like it didn't take
something's happening?
It added.
Yeah.
It added to. It didn't take away.
And
it
now
didn't
I have
leave you
this
the same.
experience. If I have this
That's a
glass again,
benefit.
I think I'll flash back to it. I'm like, man, why did I? And I think if I have this again later, I might be like, yeah, no, I definitely don't like this.
Yeah.
Or I will flash back and have this memory tied to it and be like, yeah, no, I do like this. I realize
the
I do
more
like.
you
I
drink
feel like
this, the more you're going to like it. But
Yeah.
I think that
maybe, yeah.
I think
well,
that
the more you
any-
drink of anything, the more you're
any-
gonna
yeah.
like it. Let's be
but
real.
any
here.
experience we have that we feel like adds value to us as a
Yeah.
person is such a beneficial thing. And I think that if it didn't either take away from or leave you the same, that's a plus. That's a
What-
huge
yeah.
plus. You know what I mean?
Even if it takes away from.
Well, I mean,
You're
sometimes
like, this
yeah.
is Kessler's. This is dog shit.
Yeah, to Kessler's
But
can you make you a better
I've
person
now
just by drinking it?
experienced this, and now I know what whiskey shouldn't taste
you
like.
will run away from that thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes I think
Like now I know like it's like learning from someone. Like you're like you can learn from somebody who's like in your profession. If you
a
shadow
bad
someone,
experience can be a good experience.
yes, a bad experience can be a good experience because you realize like, oh, I don't want to be that person.
Yeah, that's
I
a
want to be
good
more
point.
like this person.
Yeah, sometimes you have to see the
You know.
darkness before you can appreciate the light.
Absolutely. But this whiskey is different. I think I definitely think it was something I would be interested to try this again at a future date. Only to see do I like and that's how I am with Willet. I keep coming back to it to see if I
Later
like
on.
it.
Yeah,
Like maybe I do like it, maybe I don't because I tried it so early in my whiskey journey
we've
that
done that with
didn't like
scotches
it.
specifically. Yeah,
and it's like I'm going to come back to it later. And I revisit it every so often. It's like
nah, it still sucks.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's somewhere in between. But then there's other whiskeys that you have, and you're just like, whatever.
Yeah, there's some that you have, then you're like, why did I hate this? This is amazing.
Yeah,
This is so good.
Yeah. And that's what I'm hoping.
And it
I'm
could
hoping
just be
for
the
Willet.
moment.
Because
It can just be the
Willet-
moment you're in when you try
Like
it.
their whole thing with Willet and the family, and like I
Willet's
want
amazing.
to love them.
I would love for Willet to partner with us like some of the other places we've had because I love Willet. I love everything about them.
I want to love
Yeah.
that. I want to love their
They
product.
are a high rye mash bill, and
I don't
they
know.
have they're flavored. If you either, I always tell people you either like Willet or you don't. There's really no in between, and I love it. But but it's the difference between some people don't like fish or something, and some people do. Or cilantro. I guess that's more of a. Some people either like
Yeah, it's
cilantro
like
or you don't.
it either tastes like soap or you love
Yeah.
it.
And I'm a liker of cilantro. I like cilantro. So I mean, I don't understand the people that don't like cilantro, but like I get that there's a chemical thing in your head that says not good, not good.
There's
You know what I
something
mean?
wrong
Yeah.
with you that says it's not
And
good.
that's what I
get
like.
that.
I remember talking to you
But
about
there's a
Willet, and you were
I
like-
could be the wrong guy. I could be a chemically wrong, and I'm fine with being wrong. I'm completely cool with being a wrong type of individual.
because it tastes so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because, and I will like
think
that
this is
thing.
something I would
Yeah.
definitely be interested. Like if Nick has it in his cabinet in, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months, at a club night, he pulls it out and let me try that again.
Just whips it out.
Let me
Yeah.
try it again and see. Just whips it out. He tends to do that at
He
club nights,
tends to
depending
do
on how
that.
much he's had to drink.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Or fall down.
or take a slip.
yeah,
Slip and
slipping
slide.
down the stairs. But for me, I think it's not polarizing. I'm kind of walking that line of like, do I like it? Do I not like it? I don't know because it has kind of grown on me a little bit. So I would be interested to like come back and retry this without it being tainted by anything else other than this memory to see if like, nope, yep, I do like that. And I think if I try it again in 6 months, I'll be like, yes, or no. There's not going to be an in between.
We should make a reminder.
Yeah. Oh, it's a
Yeah.
man.
People
throw
listening,
a
remind us
reminder.
6 months from
Like
now.
at the bar,
Herb
even at
has
the
to try
barbecue,
it.
like
Yeah.
in the summertime, like, hey, try this.
Try this. What do you think about
Like,
it?
just pour me a glass. Don't tell me what it is. Let
Herm's
me try
gonna
it.
be like,
do you like
I
it or do you not like
remember
it?
this.
I tell you what, guys, I'm an environment guy. So I really like to set my environment for drinks. Again, if you heard me say earlier, Frank Sinatra, I'm a Jack Sinatra guy. So, but this bottle here, I think and you've heard me talk about this before. I've done reenactments. I was an old 1880s cowboy.
Oh, dude, that's legit.
And I
love those reenactments.
Yeah, I think I have a plan for the clubs.
Are we going to do a reenactment?
I might have to take you guys.
Dressed as a cowboy.
I might have to take you guys down there.
Dude, I'd be all about it, man.
I thought we were going to be a part of this.
I'd just be killing everybody.
Look, I think I might have to put you guys in this.
Oh, this
Okay,
would be
so
great.
some 6-shooters, and a saloon.
Perfect.
But I think this bottle, and Herm, let me tell you, I think you would love this in that environment. I think if you had
like
this
a dusty
bottle,
cowboy
and a
rolling
dusty
into town with your
cowboy,
6
yeah.
shooters on.
Yep.
Put
Got
me in
your
some assless
stallion
chaps.
sitting outside, just
we could get you in some chaps.
some chaps. Looking to play some blackjack. Somebody looks at you the wrong way.
Let's just say I think that might be a good podcast.
I like
That would
that.
be- that would be a good
that
one,
sounds,
yeah.
that sounds like a good
Cowboy
time.
podcast.
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time. Cowboy and it sounds like a good time to me. I would do all of it. Dude, I would role play the crap out of that. I would be so in character. You would be able to
It's
get
like
me
a-
out.
is that chewing tobacco?
Yeah. Like, what is he doing?
I think we'd have to.
He hasn't
Vlog
showered in
this.
7 weeks.
Yeah, we'd have to do a podcast.
We don't know
and a
how to do
vlog.
the video.
Like, why do you
aspect yet.
smell like a horse? He's like, I've actually been rolling in horse
I've
manure
been
for 3
sleeping
days.
with my horse.
I've been getting into character, okay?
I'm a method actor.
Yeah, so I'm a method. I only have this saddle. This saddlebag is all I have to my name.
I think circling back to this, I think this is a bottle to try if you can find it. Is it, is it worth a lot of money? Probably not. Is it worth something? I think try it. Try it and see what you think.
It has enough value to try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where I was more of a try it before you buy it. But if it's at a decent price, I say buy it. It's a cool bottle. For me, like I said, once again, marketing is pretty cool, and it's very apothecary forward.
Yeah.
You could stick it on your shelf and let it get all dusty and old looking, and be like, pull it out and be like, check this bottle out, and somebody would be like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is pre-prohibition. Like, no, actually, it's like MGP and it's like 2 years old, whatever.
It's actually
you know?
not
From
that-
last year,
But,
actually.
it's old.
but yeah, but you didn't know that,
Right.
and now you think it's really good. I think going back to it, I would be very interested to retry this again at a
Okay.
later date.
We'll have to
Maybe
pull it out for you.
blinded.
Okay.
Blinded. We should do
Just
we should
a
do some
glass.
blind.
Hey, here's
know
some
what?
whiskey. Try
Well,
this.
blinded by the light. Chris has to pull out his cop flashlight.
We've
Blind
talked-
us and then try it.
We've
Yeah.
talked about doing
Yes.
blinds on the podcast,
We have.
which I don't think people have done yet, but that would be interesting
We
because
haven't
it's kind of a
done it.
blind on blind
Yeah.
because you're listening, right?
Blind on
You're not
blind on
seeing
blind.
it happen.
Yeah.
Something to think about in the future. Let us know if
Absolutely.
you want to do
Yes.
blind on blind.
But-
I think it's a good idea.
Blind on blind.
Guys,
That
just
sounds
try
like a
to-
weird
It's a blind
fetish to
leading
me.
to blind,
to
dude.
try to wrap this up and close this up for everyone. So stay tuned.
We'll be back for some more smoking and drinking
Until then.
and good times.
Yes. Until then.
Until then.
Have fun.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you want more great content and other perks, be sure to support the show by clicking the link in the show notes. We can be reached on our website, whiskeychaserspod.com, with any ideas for the show. Thanks again.